What are you doing? Are you dipping in the new truck?
Trying to make myself at home.
Jeez. What an absolute unit, guys. Today we are going to be unboxing, unpackaging, doing a little, what'd you call it? Pre-dealer inspection?
PDI, pre-dealer inspection, and then we're going to unwrap it more or less because there's plastic on everything.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a beautiful blue 2022 389 Peterbilt. Brian was telling me he already has someone's name on it. Or you guys know the deal. We'd be trying to make some stuff happen. But we're going to be unboxing it as if I was taking delivery of it and doing a full wash job. That's why I got halfway here.
It's too cold for all that.
That's why we're inside a heated building. What are you talking about?
We can wash it in here?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Why do you think it's pulled inside?
You need to get a shop like this at home. I'm working out the heat in the AC building.
Let's just go to the bank. You co-sign a loan for a new shop.
That's what I'm talking about. It's gonna bounce, but we'll try it.
All right, so this thing has got a ton of stuff we've got to get cleaned up. She's got some little dust on her here. You can kind of see that a little bit. The air tanks are wrapped from where it got painted when it was new from the factory. And it's just dirty from the trip down here. From where these are built at again? Texas? Built with pride. Denton, Texas. So let's get this thing all cleaned up. And we'll do a full tour of the interior and things like that. So Brian, why did they wrap these tanks in foam?
It's for protection when going down the road. It protects them from the elements.
For pre-delivery stuff?
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I have zero answer to that. But, I do have an answer because when they paint everything on these, these are already installed. So this is part of like the paint process, and they just leave it on for us to take off when they come here.
Okay.
And that way they are polished paints. They don't get scratched up and stuff. It's like opening up a Christmas present.
That's wrapped really well.
Yeah.
Whoever. So we got the blue 389 Pete all cleaned up. We're going to go over it with one of these two that they stop arguing about it. And they're gonna tell
I want to do it.
They're gonna tell us all the details on the truck and all the specs about it. Because this one is starting to sound like something I really like to have if you didn't already sell it or have someone wanting to buy it already. But hey, let's check it out. So who's doing it?
Man, you got a motor Inter 605 come alive, 18 speed.
Jeez. So we start at the front, or what?
No, start this delete.
What if we just start and won't we go over how these things come, and then yeah.
From the factory?
From the factory, how it's missing a lot of stuff, and there's lots of wires hanging because you guys ordered them like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, yeah, you can see on the front side has no cab lights, no visor, and it's got this this really, really lightweight steel bumper.
I like that bumper. That thing is just sick.
Man, it's custom paint on that.
I know. It's color matched.
Yeah, it only comes one way. So, yeah, the reason we ordered it all like this is because basically what we were going to do is rip all that stuff off of there and then put our own stuff on it anyway.
So your own style visor per
Yep.
whatever the customer wants, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Cool. So what about these wires? So we got wires hanging here.
Yep, that's where that's like every single truck will come like that because they don't put front and rear breather bars on it from the factory. So that's just like a provision kit that wires it right into an auxiliary plug. So that way when you put the front and rear breather bars on, it's a plug and play. Makes it a lot easier. There's also a wire underneath the cab, not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. There's also another wire underneath the cab where you can plug it in and put your chicken lights on the side of it.
Solid. CB wire from the factory.
Yep. There is a single antenna underneath the sleeper you can put in there if you want. we always just leave that off instead of having a big.
It's like you could probably use that wire just to pull through the big wire.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of like once you get it in there, it just looks like a big lightning rod on the back of it. So we just leave it off.
So that's pretty much the front of the truck. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then we've got a pogo stick back here that looks.
Yep, this is just your basic, again, factory pogo stick. You can get this 2 ways. So you can get it with a pogo stick right here and what they call a no access package. And the no access package means you have no access to the top of it, which means it doesn't come with a deck plate, which is all okay because we're going to put our own deck plate on it anyway. So with your typical access package, there's like a set of steps here, a deck plate, and then there's a bar that goes across the top of it, like a grab bar.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And that's where they put all the hoses and everything. They always plumb it up there and just hang it off the back of that.
So I think it's got air hookups at the back of the frame. We'll get there in a second. Why does it have these right here? Are these like a splitter to hook up here also? Or?
Yeah, so we do it both ways. We've got some customers that want the access in the midship, and then we got some customers that like the access in the rear. What they do is on their trailers, they plumb it to where all of the air lines and the electrical connections are all underneath the trailer back there close to the landing gear.
Like this.
We've done some applications where some guys will have midship and rear connections, because then basically all you're doing is you're teeing off the air in the middle of the trailer or the middle of the truck there. And the reason we do it like that is because there's some guys that have a dedicated trailer and they know this is the truck that's going to be with this trailer the whole time. And when they move all those air connections, it's all good and well. But then you got another guy who's got he's got 30 trailers and he's got to
hook up to one different one.
Yeah, he's like, well, this is my show trailer and I want it to hook up back here. But whenever I'm doing work on day-to-day stuff, I want it to hook up midship like where it's supposed to be.
Well, there's that. Those are the factory specs these things come with from the factory whenever you order them with not much on them.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's still a lot to go over them.
Yeah. So what engine does this thing have in it?
So it's a Cummins X15, 605 horsepower.
Big boy.
18-speed transmission. It's a 2050 torque engine.
Wow.
Yeah, 295 wheelbase. It's big and long.
It's a long daddy.
Out.
It does look sexy.
Yeah. So this is a 73-inch razor, 72-inch.
73. Where'd you come up with that one?
I don't know. Just pulled that one out of midair.
And it's got
72-inch razor.
all kinds of stuff going on back here.
Yep. Yeah, the aluminum fifth wheel. That's something we always put on our show truck specs.
It's a nice touch for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, if someone wants to polish that thing out and make it look all pretty, it's easy to do. It's not easy.
What gears are in the rear ends of this
Peter
thing?
would be really upset if you heard me say that. It's not easy.
I met him yesterday for the first time.
But it's capable. It's possible to do. Yeah, so 336s back here. This truck has, Brian likes to call them full lockers, but he's wrong. These are like 3/4 lockers. It's got the 2 switches.
What is he staring at?
I don't know. He's in his own world over there, man.
What?
Jesus.
Gosh.
Gosh.
I was just looking at it.
All right. So that's a lot of cool features. This one has got that, intelligent dash? Is that what it's called? Or digital dash, I guess?
Digital dash. Yeah, this is the new style dash.
So sick. 6.9 miles.
She's brand new. This one came in piggybacked.
It's got the fancy steering wheel controls. Wow.
Red needles on the gauges. All those Kenworth guys really like that.
That does look nice. Open it up. Are you getting wet?
I just had to move up.
That's a big old motor. 605 horsepower. 2000 2,000 foot-pounds of horse ponies. Torques. That's big.
It is. Yep. It's all 15 liters of it.
15 liters. That's crazy. Well, factory front air ride. We didn't go over that.
No, we didn't.
We didn't go over that.
That's going to make it real smooth, especially with that long wheelbase. Like long wheelbase and air ride axles, it's like...
Riding on butter. Well, that 359 I drove like last week in my videos, holy crap, that thing had front air ride. And even for like an old like 1980s truck, it was like butter.
Yeah. I love it, man. It's the way to go.
Yeah, nice front air ride. And then if one day I do get one of these trucks, we can put like air dump to just dump the air on the front.
Yep. It's one of our specialties. We like doing that with the trucks. We like just put a
I
little switch on
want
the
to
dash.
dump it and crush Coke cans with the front bumper.
Oh, that's... it's all possible. Like Brian was telling us, we need to do a body drop if we do it.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, put a body drop in this thing and make it real nice and low down.
All right, well, let's hop in the inside and maybe we'll go drive it. I'm pumped.
It's even better outside.
It does feel good outside. It does look nice outside. Such a major difference instead of having to like jump down and like my knees are falling apart by the time I come out of the cab. Wow. It's so like resilient, if that's even a way to put it. Nice. So what you got going on back there?
Now this is roomy. I like this. Unit.
What's that? Got a fridge up there?
It's a refrigerator, man.
Refrigerator. They have those inside of semi trucks now.
Yeah, keep everything cold for you.
Got the cord there. We can watch some TV. Store our suits when we're going traveling, doing business things.
4 dates, 1 and 2. You know how we roll on this channel?
Lots of stuff.
I like it.
And a nice bed. Plenty of room to stand up. You can stand up in your game.
Oh yeah, I still got it.
You're a short man.
I'm 5'10". I'm normal sized.
Well, let's go see how these 336 gears do in 18 speed. And look at this dash. That is something else. It even tells you when the door's open. This thing is so futuristic for a semi truck.
Well, you know what's the best part about all this is what they did. They made it to where you can customize what gauges you want to look at, right? So like, you know, depending on whatever's important to you, you basically got like several selections here what you can put, and you start scrolling down through the screen setup. There's like this roller, and I've not got to play with one too terrible much just yet, but like, yeah, you basically just choose the gauges that you want to look at all the time.
It's got full gauge package too.
Yep. Everything.
Wow.
The first one we got in, the first one of the digital dashes, it only had like 3 total gauges in it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because it was all happening right in the midst of the chip shortage.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, yeah, so every gauge we got to throw in here, we need more chips, and yeah, they were being very stingy with gauges.
So basically everything that's right here is on the digital dash also?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got everything's backed up almost.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. This is just for the traditionalists that need to see a physical gauge.
I mean, it does look cool. It looks like we're on a spaceship. This thing has got a ton of crazy features, like radio on the steering wheel.
Yep.
Some people might not like that for like the classic trucker, you know.
Yeah, no, so we've had 2 or 3 different customers actually ask us about if we could put a custom steering wheel on and what that would entail. And so far, we've been working on it. We're hoping to have something in the future where we can move all those controls back to the dash. Like we're hoping to find a spot where we can like put it right here where these like 2 missing gauges are.
Yeah.
get all that back over there, then you can then we can do like a 4-spoke chrome steering wheel back on it.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's a work in progress though, because they changed a lot more than just putting a screen in the dash. When you pop the dash panels back off of it, all the wiring, everything, it all looks very different from the backside of it now.
Well, imagine it's got a computer screen up here.
Yeah. It's a lot less wires. That's kind of the crazy part.
Definitely doesn't feel like you're driving a massive semi truck.
No.
This thing as smooth as it is.
Yeah, well, the longer wheelbase, the air ride front axle, they all work really well together. So yeah, how's the power difference feel?
Massive. Over here, I'm like barely pushing the throttle down to get places. You push it down, you like feel it really pick up. Then it brakes on. Definitely slows down nice.
Lots of drag on the jakes on these things.
Yeah. Man, what a view. You drive this every day like nothing special.
I try to stop and think like this is really pretty. I do go over this bridge every single day to go to work. So it's like, there's those times where I stop and I'm like, hey, this is a really nice place to
So we just got back from test driving this sexy 389. Are you honking your horn? Come on now. Gosh. Something else we didn't mention, this thing doesn't have any horns on top or clearance lights. And you said in order to make it DOT legal, it's got to have clearance lights on top.
Has to have.
Has to have. So that's why you guys order it without it. So did you find your keys?
No, I don't have keys.
Well, we were going to go do something else, but we're not now. So Tommy, why don't you tell me what you would put on this thing and what you would do?
What I would do?
Depending on what the customer wants, I guess, but what would you do?
Man, if I were building a show truck, I would do a lot. So 6-inch cabin sleeper panels kind of have to happen. That's going to drop it down right here. What's really cool about that, it goes 6 inches right here and then it wraps around and then kind of radiuses around the tank. The 12 gauge sets that we have are really, really super nice. Reader bars. You got to get some lights front and rear side of here. They make a really neat like a strapless kit, where you can get rid of these straps and make all this pretty and visible.
Would that defeat the purpose of having like the older style breather?
Yes and no. I've seen it both ways. Yeah, it depends on if you're trying to go traditional or not. I've seen a lot of these go strapless. It's a little more challenging than your typical ones.
Clean the mirrors.
Yeah,
Brian missed it.
on the front side, yeah, you're right. You gotta have lights and you gotta have a visor. Now that's all gonna be like personal preference. There's some guys that really like the 5 lights across the top. There's some guys that like 7 lights across the top, and then Bill always goes with like 9 lights.
9.
Yeah, he goes with 9.
Loading it up.
Yeah, it leaves no space up top.
Jeez.
I've always been a huge fan of putting a visor on it, that the lights are in the top side of the visor.
Brian was mentioning that.
Yeah, and then you get to keep the roof clean. The roof doesn't have so much like noise on top of it.
Lots of stuff up there. Yeah, wind noise.
Leaks or anything like that.
Exactly. Then on the backside, the Iowa Customs deck plate is going to be a must. You always got to have an Iowa Customs deck plate. To me, covering up all this stuff, it makes the biggest difference in any one piece you can put on a truck as far as appearance goes.
There's a lot of wiring and hoses and a lot of stuff back here you would like to cover up. Would make it look nicer.
You'd be really surprised how much better it makes it look when all this noise goes away. There's so much here that you're looking at, and when you walk up to the back of the truck, if it's just a clean plate, a flat clean plate, it looks so much better.
I think it looks sick with painted
Painted
tanks.
Oh yeah, you gotta paint the tanks.
Less polishing it'd have to do too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, but the big question is do you paint them the same shade of blue as the frame?
Yeah, so I guess they might could see it now with the light on it. The cab's a little bit lighter color blue. I don't know. That is a really good question because the tank mounts are the darker blue.
Yep. Another huge absolute must that I would do is Dynaflex exhaust. You gotta get you some
big old pipes.
stick them on the side of the truck. It really
Sounds
does.
like you may have to reach out to them and get some pipes for this thing.
I'm gonna call those guys. I know Corey really well, the guy who owns Dynaflex. He's a super cool guy, and I really feel
It does seem kind of naked right there on the front of the cab there.
Yeah, because typically the trucks that don't have exhaust, they've got like this like aerodynamic. You know, and I know you're real concerned about fuel mileage, so maybe you want that.
Miles per gallon, come on. Don't they make the really, really cool pipes for the intercooler and all that stuff too?
Yeah, Dynaflex does all that. So, yeah. Well,
Let's open the hood again.
yeah, let's get that up. Dynaflex, they do make this really cool on-road kit. That's what they call an AIK, which is an air intake kit.
I remember seeing it on Jose's truck, the one we did the test drive on a few weeks ago, where all this stuff right here goes from being plastic to chrome.
All this is all chrome. So this piece goes to chrome. Your upper radiator pipe, it goes chrome.
Wow.
I mean, it's the whole deal.
Lots of chrome.
It looks really, really good under the hood.
This engine's huge.
Put one of them in.
Sounds like you have to hit him up when you get ready to put some stuff on this truck.
Man. I know some people who know some people. I'd love to deck this truck out for you.
What?
I said I'd love to deck this truck out for you.
Oh, jeez. Well, before we head out and head back to Florida, we stopped over here at our good friends RLC Motorsports in Austin. His head's about to explode.
Let me drive the boat. Texas.
Tell you what, 10 years from now, if you're still working for old buytractor.com, this might be your halfway point to retirement gift.
Woo,
Imagine what's it be worth 10 years.
Yeah, you go buy me $8,000 K5.
Dang, it does look clean though. Oh, it's even got a door light. Look at that. You know, the clothes is so nice. Yeah. Brian's Ram looking. Look at this C10. Dang. It's a C10, right? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, what's the GMC? Yeah. That's a long bed. It's clean though.
Wow, some bucket seats. Look at the inside of the bed. Not a ding in it.
Ain't no work truck.
No sir. No sure. Wow. Pretty dang
You
clean.
got that 383 in it or what?
It's got the 383.
383.
That stroker motor. Nice.
The practice and I keep telling your dad to look for to buy. He acts like I'm so
Off the AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way it's V-belt.
So what happened last night?
We went bowling.
That's it?
Went bowling and had a couple beers.
What a dummy. God, Austin, you're making a mess.